I think that the choice between Pebblebee or Chipolo is really quite simple. Back in the studio as an LA native, I wanted to show my Los Angeles pride. Let's go Dodgers, congrats on the World Series. And as I said, I have been using both of these trackers in the same way every day for almost 3 months now. Now, since I have been back, the trackers have both been on the same places of my motorcycle. I've gone to the same places here in Hanoi every day, being the schools that I teach at. I park in the same places here in the parking garage of my apartment. And so I've had a very good, fair comparison between these two trackers. And the differences between these two trackers have been absolutely huge. I think, and I can only attribute the differences between these two trackers to the fact that Pebblebee trackers are rechargeable. And thus, because of that, Pebblebee must be using some kind of circuitry which has a stronger Bluetooth signal or better antennas, or they're just using a more higher powered radio receiver, transmitter, whatever that item may be. I noticed a significantly higher amount of time that my Pebblebee tracker would show up in the Google Find My Device network here in Vietnam, where the majority of people still use Android, by the way. And so because of that, I can only assume that that increase in coverage comes down to the fact that Pebblebee has better wireless reception for Bluetooth, better Bluetooth just connectivity overall, and the device is kind of working more and using higher powered radio receivers. All of this would only make sense because the Pebblebee tracker is rechargeable, thus it might or likely runs at a different voltage or wattage or amperage. I'm not an electrical engineer. To the Chipolo tracker, which uses a disposable CR132 or CR123 battery. Because these batteries are so small, Chipolo has to be more energy conscious about how powerful they make the device, simply because if the user is constantly having to change the battery in one of these trackers, it's just a poor user experience. Meanwhile, when I first got my Chipolo tracker, the device came out of the box and it said it was fully charged. Here, in the last 3 months, I've actually had to charge my Pebblebee tracker, which makes me think that the advertised battery life for the Pebblebee tracker is significantly worse, which I am very okay with because it's got a USB-C port. And the Pebblebee card that I have in my wallet comes with its own proprietary charging connector, which I'm not a big fan of proprietary connectors in general. But if that means that it's got a more powerful chip inside or more powerful internals because it is rechargeable, I'm totally okay with that. I was expecting for both of these devices to be much, man, don't people outside know that I'm filming right now? Geez, the sounds of Hanoi. But I was just expecting for the overall performance between these two trackers to be more comparable. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy a Chipolo tracker ever again, to be honest. I mean, it's fine on my keys where I'm normally able to like track my keys at all times, or I use the chirping sound that it makes to find them. But the lack of ultra wideband Bluetooth, and with how kind of bare bones and minimalistic the Google Find My Device app is, I wouldn't trust it to track anything kind of more valuable than my motorcycle keys. Meanwhile, I find that the Chipolo tracker updates almost every 10 minutes here, whereas the Chipolo tracker, I would get maybe 1 or 2 updates an hour. So 2 to 3 times more connected with Pebblebee versus Chipolo, which is really, really surprising. I also want to touch on a recent customer service interaction I had regarding Pebblebee because I had some weird issues. I was pressing the buttons on it, didn't know what the buttons did, didn't really read the user manual, and I found myself unable to connect and ring my Pebblebee tracker. I went ahead and I connected to Pebblebee's customer support, and over chat, they fixed all my problems. They got the device reset. They explained to me what was going on. And so I found that my customer service experience with Pebblebee to be great. They are only available during kind of normal business hours in America, which is a little bit of a bummer because I had to do it at night here. But the fact that I was able to chat with someone in real time, not via email, and able to get them to help me problem solve my specific issue was a very nice added touch. So on top of all of the added connectivity, on top of the better range that it seems to have, on top of the fact that Pebblebee has little lights on it that light up, which would be great if you're looking for lost keys, I think that the choice between Pebblebee or Chipolo is really quite simple. If you're looking for a device on the Android Find My Device network, even though it's just kind of in its infancy stages, I think that Pebblebee is just clearly ahead of Chipolo on this one. And if you look at the reviews on Amazon of Chipolo, you'll see that other people have a similar mediocre user experience to the one that I did. I wish that Chipolo had rechargeable batteries versus disposable ones, but hey, it's all lithium coming out of the ground somewhere in Africa anyway, well, apparently. I'm not an expert. But if you enjoyed this real world feedback on the Chipolo versus Pebblebee trackers, I would love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to pick either of these up, I'll have links to where you can do so, and it goes a long way to supporting my channel. If you like these videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to chat with me, Telegram or Twitter is the best place to do so. And if you guys comment, I will give you a direct link to my Telegram group so that you can join in on this conversation. Peace.